Hey adventurers, today we are doing a top 5 fantasy books. These are the top 5 books in order of favorite to least favorite. I don't know what order we're going to give them in.
It's pretty tricky to give them in. We're going to give them in the proper order, favorite to least favorite. But that being said, all the normal disclaimers is it's just awful hard to specify your favorite books. And
they are subject to change and everything,
yep.
All that stuff. So
now that that's out of the way, we'll tell you our favorite books. You go.
Sure, I will go first. Coming in at number 1, as no surprise to anyone, is The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. I don't really feel the need to say a whole lot about this because I've said a whole lot about this in other videos.
So I went ahead and chose Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, book 4 in the Harry Potter series. It was really hard to choose one of the Harry Potter books, especially since it's about time for a reread for me. But I do love the Goblet of Fire and just how crazy everything gets in this one.
And number 2, and this was actually a very hard decision, was which Sanderson should I choose? And I almost chose Warbreaker. I don't know why, because I didn't love Warbreaker that much when I read it, but the more I think back on it, the more I really, really liked it. I ended up choosing to go with Mistborn, or a book in the Mistborn Era 1, and I decided with The Hero of Ages. This is the final book in the trilogy. I don't know, I feel like the storylines that it follows, the characters that it's following, and the way it wraps up this trilogy is just some of the best out there, and I love it so much. But it's so, I don't know, there's other people who talk way more about Sanderson than I do, and I will let them do that.
So next we have Dust by Cara Swanson. I love this book to no end. It's still one of my favorite fantasies, and I'm so excited to read Shadow, which I have, and it's coming up really soon on my TBR, so I'll be getting to that soon. But yeah, Dust was amazing.
And then, once again, another book that I have talked about, and you can probably guess, that's Dawn of Wonder by Jonathan Brinshaw. This is book 1 of the Awakening series. Book 1 is the only one that's out still. And when I read this last year, it was one of the best books that I'd read that year. And it's still one of the best books that I've read these past 2 years now. It's so good. I don't want to talk too much about it because I know I've talked about it quite a bit.
So next I chose book 1 of the Heroes of Olympus, The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan. Another author that was really hard to choose a favorite from because I have read a lot of Rick Riordan's older works, and I do really, really like them for various reasons. I chose this series because I remember enjoying this series with the characters being a little bit older, and thus the writing style feeling a little bit older. So that was really fun, and we got to meet all sorts of new characters in this book, so I chose this one.
So book 4 that I have, and this is another one that was fairly hard to find which one I wanted to do. I ended up going with A Wizard of Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin. This one, I read it last year. I may have read it this year sometime. But it was so good, it was so refreshing, it was very different than anything else I'd read in a long time. And I really loved the setting, really loved the writing, the character work, just the difference of it. I don't know. I feel like I've said different a couple of times, but it was so good, and I really enjoyed that one.
So my 4th choice is Broken Arrow by Azaria M.J. Durant. This is one of my favorite books that I've read this year, and probably one of the fantasies I've enjoyed the most in a really long time. It really drew me in and carried me along for the story, and I just thought it was written really, really well. So I really love this story and the characters in there.
And book 5 on my list is one that I recently finished, and one that I've been kind of raving about since I finished it, and that is Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brennan. This was so good. I don't know, I have a review up for it. You can go watch that if you want to know my thoughts, so that way I can not say them all here.
And then I have The Hobbit mentioned as well here. I did really love The Hobbit when I read it, so it's one of my top favorites, and it's one that I hope to read again sometime soon. And it kind of speaks for itself, I feel like. The Hobbit stands on its own 2 legs, so
yeah,
we'll just let it stand then.
And then,
because T can't follow the rules.
Yeah, because I can't follow the rules, I had to just throw in an honorable mention, and this was also kind of because Andrew from Andrew's Wizardly Reads. I've kind of been bugging him to get on this, but he hasn't, so I'm going to get on it first, and that is The Magic Treehouse by, oh boy, Mary Pope Osborne. I loved the series when I was a kid. I have no idea if it holds up, but It's amazing. So that is our list of our top 5 favorite fantasy books. Not of all time, because we haven't
Can't
made it
choose
through all
that.
time yet. There's a lot of books that we haven't read. But I like the choices that we have. I think they're fairly good, sampling from across a wide variety
Of fantasy.
of fantasy. Yeah.
Some high, some low fantasy. All good.
Thank you guys for watching an Erudite adventure. We hope you enjoyed this video. It was lots of fun to come up with these answers and to make the video. So hope you enjoyed it. We will see you guys again next time. We post videos every Monday and Thursday. Stay warm.